It is July 27th. I'm here with Jeff Roach, an old friend of mine from high school. And Jeff, how old are you now?
I am 50 years old.
50 years old, and Jeff is here. Jeff contacted me the other night online and told me his what he was going through with his health and his type 2 diabetes and all of his medication. He brought it. And so we're going to put Jeff on the REV program. He's our first diabetic that we're going to test on the REV program. And because we believe we can help him reverse type 2 diabetes. Jeff, tell me about all your medication that you're taking here. What is all this stuff?
I'll tell you, the first thing is this nasty thing. This is the tester. You have to put a needle in here every time that
for your blood sugar.
To check your blood sugar, and that's a pretty nasty needle. But you've got to do that, and it'll tell you, this little thing will tell you what your blood sugar is.
How many times a day do you do that?
Well, it's they tell you to do it 4 times a day, which is kind of funny because the insulin they gave me is 24-hour insulin.
Okay.
But what they want you to do is they want you to keep a journal.
Okay.
So I usually do it 3 to 4 times a day.
Wow. Okay. And when's the last time you took your blood sugar?
I didn't take it today because pills coming up here.
Okay. What was it yesterday?
Yesterday it was 290 something.
290.
Up in the 290s.
Okay.
It averages between, even with all of this medication, it averages, and I've been exercising. I've already dropped 25, even though I'm still overweight. I've even dropped 25, and exercising like crazy and eating just raw.
Wow.
And it's still in the 290 to, if it ever gets to 180, 190, we consider that a success.
It's a party. Yeah.
Unfortunately, what they tell me is that it's impossible for your body to lose weight if your blood sugar is at 140 or above.
At 140 or above, yeah.
And mine, very seldom in the last year, I can count maybe on one hand it's been below 140.
Okay.
That's even after fasting all night.
Okay. So how long have you been above 200? For how long in your life?
Well, at least the last year.
Okay.
It's gotten progressively worse.
When were you diagnosed as type 2?
About 3 years ago. I woke up one morning and I had what they now say is Bell's palsy.
Okay.
And so I went in and, long story short, after everything was said and done, they did all the blood work. They said, "My God, your blood sugar is around 400. We need to put you in the hospital."
Wow.
I said, "I'm not going to go to the hospital. I feel fine,
Right.
But in reality, I did not at the time realize how tired and just worn out I was, and how everything was blurry. And I've been I've been going to doctors about my feet.
Right.
Neuropathy.
Wow. And
I never just put 2 and 2 together. Never. One day my dad was over there and he checked it and it was 400.
Wow.
And then I just kind of blew it off. And then it was probably a couple of weeks to a month later is when I woke up, and this whole side of my face was paralyzed, and they even said it was a small stroke.
Wow. Wow, Jeff. For y'all that don't know Jeff, Jeff's been a very successful businessman in the freight brokering business for a long time, has his own school, has done very well, and so hopefully we can help him correct some of this. Jeff, what you were telling me that you were spending money. What did you say you spent last year on just your medication and all this stuff? Yeah,
this is crazy, and I don't know. I still have a hard time comprehending this, but when being self-employed, my insurance was around $2,000 a month for my family.
Wow.
With an $8,000 deductible per person.
Wow.
And every year it goes up, or every quarter it would go up. Every time they would prescribe more medicine, it would go up. The premium would go up.
Wow.
So, we're stuck with we have to have insurance, in case I have a stroke or something like that. But literally, we calculated somewhere in the neighborhood of $35,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
You take in consideration the MRIs, the endocrinologist that we had to go to that did special testing over at Baylor, Dallas, to make sure I didn't have anything wrong with my liver and all that stuff, which I had what they call a fatty liver.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about, I could have bought a nice car for what I spent on insurance.
Yeah. And you feel like at $35,000 or $40,000, you feel better or worse than you did a year ago?
Well, I feel, that's a great question. I feel worse about spending the money. I feel a little bit better than I did when I went in, because my feet are not constantly burning.
Yeah.
I can see better.
Yeah.
My blood sugar's not at 400, but still at 250 to 350 is still very, very dangerous.
It is dangerous.
It's very serious at that level.
Wow.
And so, I have to take 5 of these horse pills every day. And you can see it's just, they're humongous.
Wow.
It's called metformin, and I guess it has something to do with
diabetes,
your pancreas, and your pancreas, and then Crestor. This is kind of a preventative deal that my doctor just gave me, and this is the liver medicine that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And this is a deal for triglycerides, and this is just some other medicine. I'm not sure exactly what it's for.
Yeah.
And then I also take fiber on a regular basis, and I take fish oil on a regular basis. I take cinnamon on a regular basis, and just these pens alone. If you don't have the right kind of insurance, if you have the kind of insurance I have to, where this is not covered until you get $8,000, until you get your deductible.
Wow.
That we figured it up. I spend $500 to $600 per month just to keep my medication, just so I won't run out of medication.
Wow.
And every day I have to do this, take all these, take all this.
Okay.
And it's a big pain. And when you said, hey Jeff, you do come in and try my program and do what I tell you to do, and I was telling my family last night, hey, if Mike tells me to walk to New York and back, I'm going to do it. If this works, then there is. Then God bless you and your business, because there'll be a monster market for it.
Well, it'll work. We've got to get started on changing a couple of things, and what I tell everybody, Jeff, the hardest thing for people, whether you're diabetic or trying to lose weight, it's not the body, it's the mental. It's this part here that is the hardest part to change.
Yeah, you're the first person who's ever said that.
Oh, really? Well,
really, honestly,
this is the mental part of it's 98% of the battle, because I've never met a diabetic or an overweight person that's lazy. And a lot of people say, oh, they're lazy, they don't want to do it, I've never met anyone that says, I enjoy taking this much medicine, spending $40,000 a year and feeling like crap.
Right.
They're confused. They've been told the wrong things for so many years, and now we're going to focus on the mental part. But on the body part, this is what I wanted to explain to you so you'll understand. Because you told me you got up the other morning, you ate a banana, then you had
with cinnamon on it, which is what the diabetic,
the endo told you.
That's what I get an email every day from
an expert. Sure.
Online that tells you all kinds of things that you can do and eat.
Gotcha.
And
Sure.
So
okay.
That was one
so
of the things.
You had a Lucerne shake.
Yes, right? That's exactly right.
And then that night you had a Whataburger. Okay.
Yes,
and that's okay.
It's the first time in about 6 months I've had a Whataburger, and normally I would not even tell anybody. It's hard to complain about having spending this much money on medicine and
it's
eating
okay.
Whataburger.
You have to be transparent.
But you asked me, and I wasn't going to lie to you. So
yes.
That was the first Whataburger I've had literally in 6 months, and I savored every minute of it.
Yeah.
I kind of hid in the park so nobody could see me while I was eating it.
Right. Okay, so here's what I want to explain to you, what the body's doing and what's going on, so that you'll really understand and see when you eat certain foods what's happening inside your body. And you already know a lot. Diabetics are pretty much educated to a certain degree, but what I found is they've been given a lot of the wrong information, like this banana thing.
It really depends on who you talk to.
Okay, sure it does. Sure. There's a few. Diane Schwartzbein, you said have you seen the Schwartzbein principle?
No, but you're
okay.
I was told about it.
In my opinion, the best in the world. But anyway, so what's happening, this is your liver. Your liver is your second biggest organ in your body other than your skin. Your liver is what makes body fat, and your liver is what burns body fat. So your liver really is the control center. Then you've got your pancreas, and in a type 1 diabetic, your pancreas is dead. It can't make glucagon and it can't make insulin, right? It just sits there, and that's why you do insulin shots. That's why you eat candy, raise your blood sugar, push it down. Okay, but in a type 2 diabetic, you have a pancreas that's alive, but you're insulin resistant, meaning your blood, now when it gets high with blood sugar, the insulin basically can't bring the blood sugar down by itself. That's why you have to take metformin and you have to do shots, right? Okay.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so what's happening is everyone says it's calories and fat and carbs and glycemic and all this stuff, and that's not true. You can't classify food as if it's high calorie, it's bad. If it's high fat, it's bad. You can't do that. And that's where we got confused, because there are a lot of low calorie foods that'll make you fat. There are a lot of low sugar foods that'll make you fat. There are a lot of low glycemic foods and so on that will make you fat. There are a lot of high ones that aren't bad for you that will actually help your body burn fat. And that's why we're so confused, because we try to class everything with a number or by a system, and it's not that easy. So what we try to focus on is we categorize foods as some of them are okay and your body can't convert it to body fat. And guess what? This is will surprise everybody. Is that, for example, bacon. And I'm not a good artist, but I'm going to draw a piece of bacon. Here's a piece of bacon with all of its fat. Well, for years we've been told that when you eat bacon and this part of it's fat and this part of it's meat, that it goes in there and somehow or another converts into fat on your bottom, on your legs, arms, whatever. Because that's fat, it goes in and makes fat. Well, guess what? It's impossible. Your liver cannot take the fat off of that and convert it into fat. The fat off of that bacon cannot go into your body and turn into fat. Okay? So, red meat fat, saturated fat, cannot go into your body and turn into fat. Now, here's something to think about. When you and I grew up in Garland, Texas, when we grew up, a lot of people ate fat back then. But how many fat people did we have in the United States back in the 60s and 70s? Not many.
Right.
So over the last 40 years, Jeff, fat consumption has declined, but yet we've gotten fatter. So that's something to think about. So bacon, the burgers, those things that have the natural meat fats cannot go into your body and create fat. Those are actually your friends. And this is why I'm saying so much of this is going to be mental, because you're going to be eating things that you've been told for the last 20 years not to eat. And you're going to go, this doesn't make sense. He doesn't know what he's talking about. All of my doctors and experts tell me I can't eat that. But what will happen is when you start eating all of our meats and vegetables, and some of them have fat on them, you're going to start losing weight. Your blood sugar, we'll get your blood sugar down to 140 within 4 weeks. I can promise you that, okay? We're going to get you down to 140. We're going to get you off this stuff. But let's get back to the food for a minute. Okay, so we've got bacon. We've got red meat. We've got fish, chicken, all the obvious stuff that you can eat, which is fine. And then you've got vegetables. But let's look at the things that we think are healthy, like bananas or wheat bread. Here's a great example, wheat bread. Everyone says, oh, if you eat whole wheat, you're okay. Well, I tell everyone the smartest medical people in the world are type 1 diabetics, because a type 1 diabetic will live or die by what they eat.
That's true.
Okay, they eat too much of sugar, and they don't have insulin, they're going to die. If they don't get enough sugar and they have hypoglycemia, then they'll die. But for the rest of us, what happens is when you eat that piece of whole grain bread, and let's say, I'm going to say your blood sugar, I'm just going to hypothetically say it's around 110. My thing is not drawing very good. But what happens is when you eat that piece of wheat bread, your blood sugar spikes up. When you eat a Snickers bar, your blood sugar spikes up. Your body doesn't know the difference between a piece of bread and a Snickers bar, which is amazing to most people.
Right.
Your blood sugar reacts, okay, to either or. So here's the tricky thing about fruit. Fruit has fructose in it. Fructose is what they call nature's sugar. It's a natural sweetener.
Right.
The danger with fructose is that in the late 80s, all the dietitians and nutritionists across the country thought that fructose was a miracle sweetener because all their diabetics could eat it and their blood sugar wouldn't spike very much. Okay? So they started making what they call frookies. It's a fructose sweetened cookie. The guy became a multi-trillionaire. He was the only one making these fructose sweetened cookies. So all these diabetics started eating them, and they were maintaining pretty stabilized blood sugar. But guess what? Fructose goes straight to the liver, and the only thing the liver does with fructose is it immediately starts pumping out triglycerides. Your triglyceride levels go through the roof. Your blood sugar will stay, it's low glycemic, and your blood sugar will stay fairly stabilized, but it's creating triglycerides like a crazy.
Which was one of the other issues that I had was extremely high
triglycerides. Okay. And so,
which I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, give me a pill, I'll take it.
See, we've been taught that when you eat that piece of bacon, because it's fat, it goes in here and it shoots your triglyceride levels up, and that's not true. It can happen. Okay, biochemistry in the 70s proved that meat with fat on it cannot be converted into body fat. It's impossible. And biochemistry is not a study; it's fact. I mean, they know it for a fact. So we've been told that eat fruits, eat things high in fiber, eat all this stuff, and your body.
Exactly what I've been doing.
And so that's what you've been doing, and you've been put on more and more medication, and your medical bill and your insurance is going up more. But who cares? You're feeling worse and worse, and you know your years are numbered, right? That's what you're going through, and that's what a lot of these people go through. So what we've got to do, Jeff, is we've got to put you on the right foods that we're going to. Right now, your blood sugar at 290, you're literally at DEFCON 5. I mean,
really, I know.
You really are. You're a walking time bomb.
When
right
they told
now.
me I was at 400, she said we need to put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
We don't want you to have a stroke, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, that's some serious stuff. So you're way up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you on the REV program, which is meats and vegetables. It's pre-cooked. You fill it in the microwave, and you've eaten our food, so you like it.
Unbelievable.
It's good food. So what's going to happen, and since you're our first guinea pig, it may take 7 days, it may take 14 days, but we'll get your blood sugar down below 200 very quickly. And then within 3 to 4 weeks, we'll get it down below 140. But only if you eat meats and vegetables, because what will happen, Jeff, if we drop your blood sugar down, and let's say we get you down to 200, this darn marker. So Jeffrey, right now your blood sugar is at 290. You're way up here. Within about 14 days, eating our food, and it may happen within 10 days, but we'll drop your blood sugar down to 140, where it's going to be up in here. And then eventually, within 4 or 5 weeks, we'll get it down to 120 or so, and maybe lower. But the way we get there is only if you eat our food, which is meats and vegetables. Now, here's the danger, and I've seen this with people, is that they do really well in our program for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they start feeling like a rock star, and they go, oh, well, I'll cheat and I'll eat this one, Snickers or whatever. And what happens is your body is still a very efficient glucose spiking machine, meaning that if you eat that one Snicker, it can bring you back up here very quick, okay? And so you've got to stay off of this stuff, because what would happen is, let's say we looked 6 months out, 6 months, and if you're down here and if you were to eat a Snickers now, well, because your body's become very strong and efficient at controlling the blood sugar, if you were to eat that Snickers now, it would pop up here and then recover very quickly. But right now where you're at, you're kind of cursed. Okay, so your body's relying on these drugs. We got to get it to where it's balanced on relying on itself again. That's the healthiest you can be, but it just takes time. The beautiful thing is that we provide the food for you, so you just heat it in the microwave for a minute or two, and it fits your busy schedule. It tastes good and it's affordable. So, but this is why I say the mental part is the hardest, because what happens? The first week you're going to do this, you're going to be all excited, you're going to start feeling better. You will go through sugar withdrawals, and sugar withdrawals will make you feel like crap. You may feel like you're going to die, you're going to feel weak, you're going to get shaky. If you do, have a little Gatorade on hand and drink about 2 or 3 ounces of that, and that'll take the edge off. But what we want to do is get through this first week. You're going to be excited, and then when you get in here from between weeks 2 to weeks 4, you're going to get bored, and you're going to say, I still like the food, it tastes good, and I'm starting to feel better, so I'll go back to partying like a rock star. And then 3 months later, if you continue to do that, you're going to be on your medicine again. We got to get through the mental part, the boredom, where you wake up and you go, okay,
Boredom. This is boredom.
yeah, this is slavery.
This is boredom. That's not boredom to me.
Yeah.
Now I don't drink alcohol, and I have very little sugar, really, except for the fruits.
And the lucerne and the other stuff you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you meats and vegetables and some cheeses, and that's what you're going to be eating every day. Okay.
Are we going to be taking the medicine at the same time?
I think what we need to do is we're going to scale back on the medicine very slowly. Like, let's say by day 10, we want you to be at half of your medication. Yes, we're filming.
Sorry, you called my name.
Okay, I'll call you back in a minute, Courtney. But anyway, but we'll scale it back. Hopefully within 10 days, you'll be at half or less. And then by week 3, by 15 days or 18 days, hopefully we can be done with it. But we only do it if your blood sugar is really dropped down a lot. Okay.
And what do you mean by a lot? Between that 140 range?
No, I think if we can get your blood sugar, let's say, down to 200, as soon as we get it down to 200, I would say if you're doing 5 metformin a day.
5, which is the maximum amount that you can take.
Okay. I think we can get you down to 1 metformin a day within the first week. Okay. I think we can get your blood sugar down to 200 very quickly. I really do. The exercise is a very important part of it, and here's what I don't want you to do, and we talked about this over the phone.
Right.
Is a lot of people like you, or when I was overweight, I would go to the gym 3 times a week and kill myself and work out and think I'm really getting ahead, and I was actually hurting myself more, because what happens is I would push my blood sugar levels down too low. I'd feel really weak, and my body would start craving some foods that would push my blood sugar back up, which is usually starches, sugar, et cetera, et cetera. And the problem with that is, in today's technology, we have all these health-sounding drinks and foods and vitamins.
That's exactly right.
Where you think you're eating something like, the health bar or something, and as a consumer, we look at it and say, well, it's got to be good for us. It's sold at the vitamin shop, and this Dr. Regan, it's full of sugar. Okay, it's full of junk. And so that's why we say, if you exercise too hard, just know that you run the risk of your body's naturally going to crave something to push the sugar back up, your blood sugar back up, and you do not want to do that.
A book by Dr. Cooper.
Yeah.
And he said the old school thought was, he'd look at a guy out there running out in his facility that was 55 years old, and he could run marathons, and he was just doing great. And he thought, man, well, that guy's going to be, he's healthy, he's going to live forever. And then you see this other guy that he would only exercise 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he might even be walking fast.
Right.
And he said what they've learned over the years, and this was talking about antioxidants and exercise and everything. He said what they've learned over the years is it's the low impact exercising is the most healthy. It's what you really want to focus on.
That's right.
So I can, like I told you before, I kayak.
Yeah.
I play a little bit of racquetball with my daughter.
Yeah.
Or, I swim, but it's not like I'm swimming 2 hours.
Right.
I'm swimming 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
So it's not like I'm keeping. I think I have a pretty good grasp on that.
Okay.
But now you tell me something about you wanted to make sure that I walked a certain amount every day.
Yeah.
And I said I would, so I will. In case I have a heart attack, Mike, after doing this, just tell my family I love them, okay? I appreciate it. Thanks. I mean, I'm going to do this, but a little skeptical, but I'm going to do it because I trust you, Mike.